Shalom, and welcome back to Bnei Noach Academy, Thoughts on the Torah. Please remember to hit the like button, to subscribe, and most importantly, to share this insight and inspiration with friends and family. If you look in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 3, after Moses tells them that, when you're out there in the exile, meaning that is synonymous with suffering, when you're going through hardship, and you return to Hashem, you return to God, here's what's going to happen. In verse 3, he tells them, Veshav Hashem Elokecha et shmutcha, and the Lord your God will return, will bring back your exiles, your exiles. He will come and resettle you back in your land, have compassion on you, and so on. Now, there's something very interesting here in the grammar. In the very first word of the verse, which is Veshav, Vishav means, and he will return. This verb means, he shall return. The sages point out something very interesting. It seems that the correct verb here should have been, veheshiv, and he will make return, because Moses is describing how God will bring back. He will veheshiv, he will bring back, he will make return. Vishav, as it appears in the Torah, the Hebrew word vishav means, and he shall return, seems to be implying that he himself would come back. Come back from where? God is bringing us back. Where is he coming back from? Well, the sages tell us that even when we're exiled, and this, by the way, is not only for the Jewish people, but for all nations, as the commentary Rashi, Rabbi Shlomo Yitzchaki, points out, based on Talmudical sources. God goes with you. God is there with you in the place of exile, in the place of suffering. God is there with you. He's not standing from afar and watching you from a distance. No, he is there with you, suffering along with you. I know you may be thinking, well, this is absurd. It doesn't seem to make sense. If he's suffering, then why is he doing it to us? Or why is it happening to us? I want you to think of a parent. Think of your child. You warn them, please don't climb on that because you might fall and get hurt. And of course, what do? They climb on that and they fall and they get hurt. So the consequence is unfortunately their doing, the pain that they're experiencing. But you as a parent, you're there with them in pain. You feel the pain. You're also hurt. It's very difficult for you to see your child suffering, although they brought on themselves, and although on some level this actually is a very positive thing, because they needed this. They needed to learn. They needed to know how in the future not to repeat this mistake. But the fact is, it hurts you. And that's what God's saying. I want you to know that even when you're experiencing pain, even when it's your own doing, when it's your own fault, it's a consequence of your mistakes. It's a consequence maybe even of your deliberate actions. You brought it on yourself. But I want you to know that I am there suffering with you. I am in pain. I am hurt. And when you get to return, when I get to bring you back from the exile, when I get to bring you out of the pain, I too am returning. So this, perhaps, if we have this reflection, every time we're going through a hard time, every time we're suffering, every time there's pain in our lives, that it's not like God is doing it or allowing it to happen to us. He is there with us. He is suffering together with us. That perhaps can help somewhat alleviate the excruciating agony and the sense of hopelessness and the sense of being alone, knowing that God's there with us. And that should encourage us to try even that much harder to get out of the pain, to get out of the situation, to correct things so we can very quickly get out of it, so God too can be released from the pain, so to speak.